Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Look, if your financial life feels like it's just pure chaos right now and you're desperate for some crystal clear clarity, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're breaking down the 50-30-20 budget rule. It's this brilliant, honestly kind of simple framework that can literally change everything for you.
Now, I want to start off by asking you a pretty profound question. What is true financial freedom? We throw that phrase around all the time, don't we? But what does it actually mean for your day-to-day life? Well, stick with me, because today we are building the exact roadmap to help you get there.
Okay, let's dive into this. Personal finance really isn't just about making money. It's the fundamental strategy of managing what you already make. And honestly, managing completely beats earning every single time. Think about those lottery winners who somehow go totally broke in like 3 years. That right there is the fundamental difference between a rich mindset and a poor mindset. Schools rarely teach us this stuff, but today, we're going to fix that.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the financial freedom mindset. Second, the 50-30-20 budget rule. Third, mastering needs versus wants. Fourth, funding your future self. Fifth, investing in compound interest. And finally, number 6, achieving true financial freedom.
All right, kicking things off is Section 1, the financial freedom mindset, earning versus managing.
So, before we can actually budget our money, we have to understand where it comes from, right? Money can flow from a bunch of different sources. You've got your active income from a standard 9 to 5, passive income, portfolio income, business income, maybe rental income, royalties, or dividend income. Now, it's fantastic to have multiple streams pouring in, but here's the secret. It really doesn't matter how many streams you have if your bucket has holes in it. Managing that water is what actually builds your wealth.
Moving right along to Section 2, the 50-30-20 budget rule. This is your wealth engine.
Okay, the absolute fundamental rule of personal finance is that every single dollar has to have a specific purpose. You just can't leave money sitting around without a job to do. And this brilliantly illustrates how the 50-30-20 rule gives your money a job by dividing it up into 3 super simple buckets. You've got 50% for your absolute needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% strictly dedicated to saving and investing. It totally takes all the emotion right out of budgeting.
Which brings us to Section 3, mastering needs versus wants, the 50% and 30% buckets.
Listen, we really have to draw a hard line here between surviving and just enjoying life. Your 50% survival bucket, that is for the non-negotiables: food, shelter, electricity, education, and healthcare. Then you have the 30% lifestyle bucket, and that's for your wants. Luxury cars, the absolute latest smartphones, designer clothes, and expensive vacations. You've got to be brutally honest with yourself here. A reliable car to get to work, that's a need. A cherry red sports car? Yeah, that is absolutely a want. Let's not confuse the two.
Because mixing up those needs and wants leads directly to some pretty classic financial mistakes. Things like living paycheck to paycheck, buying liabilities instead of assets, emotional spending, or ending up with zero savings or investments. But you know what the real silent killer is here? Lifestyle inflation. It's when you get a raise and immediately upgrade your apartment or your wardrobe. You basically inflate that 30% bucket until it bursts. It is for sure the fastest way to completely destroy a good budget.
All right, Section 4, funding your future self, the 20% bucket. So, if the first 2 buckets keep you alive and happy today, this final 20% bucket is what guarantees your freedom tomorrow. But look, before you do literally anything else with it, you have to fund a safety net. We're talking an emergency fund with 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Because, well, life happens, right? A medical emergency pops up, job loss, sudden family crises. This cash protects your budget so you don't end up falling into the credit card trap when a disaster strikes.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that once your safety net is totally set, your 20% bucket gets a brand new target: bad debt. Because not all debt is created equal. Good debt, like certain investments that build value over time, can actually be a tool. But bad debt, credit cards, high-interest personal loans, car loans, student loans, that stuff acts like a heavy anchor just dragging your wealth down. It is toxic, and it absolutely has to go. And to aggressively clear out that bad debt, we have 2 really effective step-by-step strategies. Step 1 is the debt snowball method. This is where you pay off your smallest debts first to get those quick, motivating psychological wins. Or step 2 is the debt avalanche method, which means paying off your highest interest debts first. Mathematically, that saves you the most money. Just pick the one that motivates you the most and attack that debt.
Of course, to maximize the amount of money actually flowing into that 20% bucket, you're going to need some practical daily habits. Automate your savings so you don't even have to think about it. Track your expenses. Avoid impulse buying. Buy during discounts. Compare prices. And come on, cancel those unused subscriptions. Small daily habits like these will dramatically increase your wealth-building power.
Okay, let's move into Section 5, Investing and Compound Interest, growing the 20%.
So picture this. Your emergency fund is full and your bad debt is completely gone. Now it is time to make your money work for you. You've got this whole menu of investment vehicles to choose from: stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, real estate, gold, cryptocurrency, bonds, index funds. The absolute key concept here is diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Manage your risk, figure out your returns, and maintain a long-term approach. Investing is a wealth-building marathon. It's not a sprint.
And the reason long-term investing works so incredibly well is the power of the number 8. Albert Einstein is widely rumored to have called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. It's this massive, exponential power of earning interest on your interest. Over time, compound interest takes steady, small investments and turns them into an absolute avalanche of wealth for your 20% bucket.
But you know, I really want to pause on this super empowering thought. The best investment you can ever make is investing in yourself. Seriously, just by watching this explainer, you're doing exactly that. Learning new skills and building multiple income streams are the ultimate drivers of compound growth. The more you learn, the more you earn, and the faster you feed that 50-30-20 engine.
Which leads us to our final section, number 6, achieving true financial freedom, the payoff.
Mastering the 50, the 30, and the 20 all leads to this exact actionable wealth-building blueprint. Increase your income, reduce unnecessary expenses, invest consistently, learn new skills, build multiple income streams, think long-term, and always reinvest your profits. When you string these daily steps together, building wealth stops being just some daydream. It becomes a structured, clear plan.
So the crucial point is really defining our ultimate destination here: financial freedom. This is that magical moment when your passive income finally exceeds your monthly expenses. Your money has literally bought back your time. It grants you the freedom to travel, spend more time with your family, or even start a business entirely free from that crushing weight of financial stress.
I really want you to let this sink in. Money is not about becoming rich overnight. It is about making smart decisions every single day. You just have to start today. Start budgeting, save consistently, and invest patiently. If you apply this 50-30-20 rule to your life right now, I promise you, your future self is going to absolutely thank you.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with this. Now that you have the 50-30-20 blueprint in your hands, are you ready to start actually directing your dollars instead of just wondering where they went? The tools are right in front of you. Take control and start your journey to true financial freedom today.